No matter what stage of life you're in, I think we can all agree that freedom is really important. Freedom to be able to live a life of your own creation, to be able to do the things that you love together with the people that you love. And that's exactly what one young couple have created for themselves, all by buying a tiny house as their very first home. Hey Nikki, how's it going?
Good, hi, how are you going?
Good, great to meet you. G'day Arron, how are you,
Nice
mate?
to meet you.
I am so excited to see your tiny house.
Yeah.
This is definitely one that's got a bit of history, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Second hand. We bought it probably a year and a half ago now, and we're just really excited to show you what we've got inside.
Absolutely. So before we talk about the house, what was it that actually inspired you to want to live in a tiny house on wheels?
I think the idea came when we got engaged and we were like, where are we going to live? Both of us were living in our parental homes. Neither of us wanted to rent. This was like a way out. We live in Auckland. Had to get the parents on board and...
Yeah, and I think for me, being a horticulturalist, I was like dreaming of a massive garden. And I was like, how can I have a bigger garden? And I was like, well, having a smaller house. So that kind of made sense as well, to have a tiny house.
It certainly does, and your love of horticulture really shows on this property. You have a tremendous number of plants around here, don't you?
Yeah, and that's kind of another tradition that we have. Ever since we kind of got together as a couple, we bought a fruit tree every month. Just as a kind of a cute reminder that we're doing it together, and then the purpose is to live sustainably in the future. And to do that, we need fruit trees, we need a lot of vegetables.
And then when we get our land, we will have an orchard. We're already up to 41 trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, and counting.
And the tiny house really is a perfect part of that plan. Now, this tiny house, this is actually the original millennial tiny house, isn't it? Which used to be a B&B, and you have now purchased it as your own home. Can you tell me how that all came about?
Yeah, we were really excited to search for tiny houses, and we found that the millennial was exactly what we wanted. So we were talking with the tiny house builders, like how to replicate what this one had for us.
They had to tweak certain things, and now they do a few things differently, and so it deviated a little bit, but I think ultimately when the time it was projected to take and the costs it was projected sort of went a little bit out of reach, that's when we were like, okay, we just like this one, can we buy this one?
Yeah.
And Jeannie was awesome. She was like, yeah, actually by that night she was like, I'd be keen to sell it, sell it on.
And it worked in our favour. We got it second hand, dropped the price a little bit, which was great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but it's the original one we always like the best.
Yeah.
And you have the ideal parking spot for it right now, don't you? You've carved a wonderful little nook out of this section. Can you tell me how you came to be here?
This is actually my parents' property, and we've been super fortunate. They've been really loving that they could offer their space up. They didn't really use this part of the land. It was actually just all lawn, and we leveled it out with like concrete and a bit of paving stone, and Bob's your uncle, it's in.
And you really have made this area your own, haven't you? You've got this wonderful outdoor living area here. I see the greenhouse out the front.
Yeah, lucky to have this patch of lawn, and it's been so good. Last summer we were just able to, we want to entertain sort of slightly bigger groups and can't quite fit them all in. It's just been good to have an extra lounge, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, and I already had the greenhouse before we got married, got together, and so that came with it.
Right, brilliant.
We moved that from up the top, moved it around, chucked a few plants in there that are, like love the warmth.
Yeah, so you were preparing your parking spot before you even knew it?
It kind of was actually, hoping that it would work out one day.
And so what size is the tiny house?
Approximately 2.5 this way and about 7 long and 4 metres up.
Yeah.
Great size.
17 square metres.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And can you tell me a little bit about the design of this tiny house?
Yeah, we really fell in love with the double French doors. So like ideally I would have a garden around the whole house, and that would be truly amazing where you can walk out both sides into the garden environment. And I think it's amazing how much light it lets in as well. Not having one door, you've got two. Yeah, just having that indoor-outdoor flow.
Yeah. Well, the house looks great, and I really love this very special nook that you've created for it here, and I cannot wait to see what you've done inside. Can we take a look?
Yeah, come on in.
All right, after you. Oh, this is just lovely. And you really are so right about having these dual French doors, because it just lets so much of the outdoors in, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's exactly what we wanted. And ideally we want plants hanging from the roof
Yeah.
and like hanging down.
Yeah. And to walk in and not just hit, nothing against the other designs, but to not just hit a wall, but to actually hit the outdoors again and then have the lofts just feels really, really good, especially in summer. These doors have been a godsend. Yeah.
Yeah, you're so right about that, and especially having this raised platform in the centre and then the way that the whole house sort of goes up into the dual lofts, it really does create that sense of spaciousness, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's one of my favourite things is the raised floor because it makes the step down into the kitchen and the bathroom feel like their own spaces.
And it looks like you've got loads of storage built here into the floor. How does this all work?
Okay, so we've got 3 different compartments. Right now, this left one is my clothes, my wardrobe. The middle ones we've got filled with pillows and puffs for people to come in and sit on. And our third one's actually a second pantry.
Great.
Yeah, it all works out because it's all laid out and it just fits in like canned processed food and all that kind of stuff.
Good idea. You've got your table and chairs there, of course, right by the French door and the lovely view outdoors.
And these fold up. And sometimes we'll fold them up, which just makes the space feel obviously bigger. But we didn't originally have a table and chairs, and we've quite enjoyed having a space to have meals and place in the middle to meet.
And the use of lighting in here is really beautiful as well. You've got the fairy lights at the top, you've got the strip lights as well as the down lights. Can you tell me about all of this?
We love being able to, obviously the strip lights are Philips Hue lights, so they can change colour, we can do it on our phone, get the app out. And when we're coming and going, we can obviously turn the lights on from the car and then come into our space. So it's been really fun being able to switch up the colours. And the fairy lights are like relatively new addition, but look so cool when it's dark and the lights are off.
Yeah, especially up in the bed and we watch a movie. It's just like you're in a cinema. It's beautiful.
And then up here we've got your office loft, and this really is a very interesting design, isn't it?
Yeah, like once you're up there, your feet actually come down and sit on top of the kitchen area. And that's what we really liked about it. We can, say if we wanted a snack, we can put the snack up there and then walk up and grab it.
At the moment it's a painting area, painting studio.
Very nice. Well, probably a lot nicer to be using it as a painting studio than an office, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's my little zen spot. Just to relax. Yeah.
And the kitchen in this house is absolutely beautiful. Can you talk to me a little bit about this design?
I think a lot of them have just a single side kitchen, and our favourite thing was, that it's got both sides. And the step down, as we mentioned as well, makes it feel like its own room.
Yeah, the galley style kitchen is really nice as well, where you've got the sink over one side and then the cooker over the other side, which creates a little bit of flexibility in the workspace and makes it easier for you both to be working in the kitchen at the same time.
And there's a lot of that because, you'll have him making bread and me trying to cook something, and then both of us making a smoothie, and then like dishes over here, and he'll be like draining his honey over here. So there's always a lot going on in the kitchen.
Awesome, because you're a beekeeper as well, aren't you?
I am a little tiny beekeeper. I've experimented a little bit. I've got one hive with 2 boxes on it at the moment. Yeah, and ready to be harvested around Christmas time.
Very cool. Really good sized fridge in here as well, and of course, as you said, more than enough storage for everything.
Everyone's always like, oh, you won't fit everything in, but so far so good.
And I see you've got both a gas hob as well as an induction cooker here.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to have a gas and an induction option. And it means that we can have essentially a lot of things cooking at one time as well.
I love all of the herbs you've got here along the windowsill.
Well, I managed to keep the first 2 alive, so Arron said I could have 6 or 8 more. So far so good.
Yeah, and then we've got tomato seedlings hopefully going to come up for the summer months. Yeah.
Nice to have all those started early, eh?
Yep.
And then over the other side, it looks like we've got your bathroom. Can we take a look at that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
cool.
go.
Alrighty. Oh, this is great. Again, just having the step down into this bathroom is a really nice addition as well, because it just creates that complete feeling of separation in a different zone in the house, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. Like, for me, you can step under and I've got plenty of room above my head. And if that wasn't there, I'd be kind of hunching down. So it's really good.
Really nice sized corner shower unit there as well.
Yeah, it's got a shower dome. It holds all the humidity in there, and definitely big enough for both of us.
Yeah. I see you've got the composting toilet there. How's that working out for you?
Oh, it's actually really good. I like it so much.
Freaks a few friends out, but they're all like, okay, like, what do we do? Yeah, no, it's cool.
Good sized vanity in here as well.
Yeah, it's really good. We can both brush our teeth at the same time. I can do my makeup as well as Nicola's makeup.
There's loads of storage in this bathroom as well, isn't there? And I see you've even got a washing machine.
So glad we've got that. It just means not having to sort of rely on the other house and being able to do our own thing in here. This has been this is quite deep wardrobe for both of us, and I've cleaned this entire drawer for my clothes.
And then upstairs we have your sleeping loft, and this stair access is just so clever.
We love showing it off. Everyone's like, where are your stairs? Yeah.
It's so practical. You can easily slide it out by pulling out the pin in the wall, and it's safe enough because you lock it back in. And then once it's closed, you just have that much more space to have people over and just use it.
Yeah. Well, can we check out the stairs in action and then take a look at what's going on in the loft?
Yes. So just pull it out, plug it in.
Just brilliant. After you. This loft is just so cozy, isn't it? And you guys are way too cute and romantic with that star mat there.
That was definitely Nikki's idea, and it just reminds you every time you walk up here that you're loved and you remember your roots.
Oh, I love that.
Took it from your old bedroom and you were like, I want that at the head of the bed. So, yeah.
What a beautiful addition to the space. And then, of course, you've got all of the fairy lights that are just radiating out from that image.
Yeah, looks really, really cool when it's a good movie night spot.
Yeah, and nighttime, it just a whole different atmosphere.
Yeah.
So what's it like for you both to wake up here in this space?
Yeah, I love it when we do keep the blinds open because it's just the light just streams in. And yeah, when I was doing night shifts, it was the nicest place to come back to at like 7 in the morning and then just fall asleep in the sun. Yeah.
And so how long have you both been living in the house now?
Just about a year and a half. So we had our honeymoon and then we came back and it was ready to move in.
Perfect. And how are you finding tiny house life?
Oh, I wouldn't go back to a normal
love it.
house.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
And yeah, it would make me cut down on stuff I had, which has been hard, but really, really good. So I wouldn't go back. Everyone sort of assumes we're going to sell the house and buy a house. And I don't think it's even occurred to us. We just want to stay tiny.
I love that the tiny house gives you a bigger garden, essentially. You don't have a big house. You don't have a big mortgage to work on. And for me, it's just more time in the garden to prune trees and experiment with grafting and budding and growing amazing fruits and vegetables. And I think the best part of a tiny house, you can move it. If you don't like the area or you want to live in another part of the country, we can actually just pick up our stuff and we can go somewhere else, which is incredible.
And we're not going to feel like we're fully uprooting because it'll be the same house. Take it with us.
And now can we talk about the budget of this house? What did this actually cost to purchase?
Originally it was 126 grand, and that was from brand new. They were going to redo this model exactly how we wanted it. But we were very fortunate and we got it second hand because it had been lived in and used as an Airbnb, and we got it for 96 grand.
Definitely a nice saving there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, for two young people, quite a lot of money. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, that does put you in such a unique position because you are both so young and you now own your own home, and instead of paying rent, you are now paying off your very own tiny house on wheels. How does that feel?
It's kind of surreal, actually. I didn't want to pay rent at all, and I knew I'd always could do something about that, and tiny house was the #1 solution by far.
Yeah, I'd so much rather go small, than pay rent and watch that money sort of go nowhere. Long run, we'll be able to get some land next and then sort of be ahead, I guess. So it feels almost like there's that feeling of privilege that goes with it because we've got friends who are in the renting cycle.
Well, there's no question about it. The Auckland housing market is exceptionally difficult, and for young people to get ahead nowadays, it requires thinking out of the box, and that is exactly what you've done by purchasing this home. It really is such a great start for both of you. Thank you both so much for sharing your wonderful home with me.
No worries.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure. As the tiny house movement progresses, it really is interesting for me to see more of the life cycle of tiny houses. This particular house started its life as the home of the original builder. It then became a B&B, and now Nikki and Arron truly have made this space their own. As for their next plan, to buy a big bit of land and start their orchard, this really is the perfect starting point for them. I want to say a big thank you to Jackery for sponsoring this video and helping to make what we do possible. If you're on the hunt for a great portable power solution, then this is something you'll want to know about. Jackery was founded by a former Apple battery engineer in Silicon Valley back in 2012, and ever since then they have been a world leader in innovative research, development, and manufacturing of portable power solutions, such as the world's first lithium portable power station. Jackery harnesses the power of the sun with state-of-the-art technology to keep you powered wherever you are. Designed with outdoor enthusiasts in mind, their clean and quiet solar generators enable explorers to have an endless supply of power for extended time outdoors. Even better, Jackery is committed to providing green power solutions. An industry leader in eco-friendly portable power, their products align with their mission of developing green energy solutions that power outdoor life experiences, all while maintaining a commitment to a sustainable future. If you're looking for a backup power option for a tiny house, a van, a schoolie, or even your next camping trip, Jackery is a great way to go. You can charge a wide variety of devices, it's totally self-sufficient and super easy to operate. Make sure you head over to the Jackery website to find out more about their brilliant portable power solutions. Jackery is celebrating its 8th anniversary, and its official website has 15% off of all products for the next 3 days. Be sure to check it out now via the link in the video description so that you can stay powered while on the move.